Joe Blewett always joins us on Tuesdays. We got the panel back. Fellas, how we feeling? Mr. Sabo, joint practices, bowls, back at One Jets Drive. Who's got it better than you seeing that in person?
Well, first things first, I heard Jake Asman Show is going to do remotes with Beast from communist China. Is that true?
Look, these are rumors. I'm not going to confirm or deny. You know what? I will deny this because I am not a communist. If Beast is a communist, that's his business.
Remotes on the radio are one thing. Remotes from YouTube, that's communist China. Beast, we'll talk. But today was interesting. Fights galore. I also think it's a great case study in terms of when another team's beat reporters are in town. You could do it with just one team's beat reporters, but when another team is in town, look at the contradictions between the reports. It's one of those things. And, it follows the trend of the NFL. Everything's great. Everybody's great from the NFL draft through camp until week 1 when reality smacks you in the face. But some positives, a lot of negatives, and we'll talk about it.
All right, so let's get right to it because I know Joe and I are dying to hear what stood out from your lens. Robby's got the coaching background. He says what is on his mind. He doesn't need to filter it. That's why we bring you on every week. If I say to you, what was the biggest takeaway from today? Give us the biggest takeaway right at the start.
Listen, folks, I'm just trying to bring balance to the Force. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. Anakin Skywalker, I am. Cool. We talked about it last week. I was worried about the gap integrity, the run fits, and it's compounded now. They just were getting mashed in the ground game between the tackles, outside. It just wasn't pretty. And, we could talk about Geno too. He had those picks. I'm sure fans saw it in terms of reporting. Offense didn't look great. About 3/4 of the way through, they started playing a little bit better, started to make up some ground. But overall, Tampa really, really had the much better day. And I don't think that's even close to controversial.
Joe, when you think of joint practices, obviously it's the first opportunity for the Jets to see a different team. What's your view on just how important joint practices actually are, what we can learn from them? Because you hear, Jets, quote unquote, lost the practice today. So does that mean anything to you as a fan? Just give us your thoughts on that before we get to more takeaways.
Yeah, I think we all tend to overrate practice and all that stuff during the offseason because we've been just starved for any football information. So lost today, won a day, it's really not the biggest deal. As long as you look like you're in the same kind of universe as that team. And the Bucs are a better team than the Jets, right? Like they've made the playoffs most of the last few years. They missed it last year, but they're still a pretty good team. From what I saw, people were saying both the defenses won against the offenses. Geno a little bit slow at the start, but picked it up. I like the fights. Robby talking about the different accounts of stuff. The tackle was like, Bailey was mad that I beat him or whatever. But then everybody who was there, who I trust, was like, yeah, Bailey just beat the crap out of him. So he was pissed off that a rookie was beating him up. So it's always fun.
I could give you a story on that. So it looked like chirping was happening from Bailey before it started, but not a big deal. That happens. They line up. What's his name? Godicke?
Yep.
Werfs was out. So Godicke, he stood up early and they blew it dead. They didn't start. So he was antsy. He had to overset. And so they did it again. He stoned Bailey cold. Bailey looked like, if I had to guess, he was angry and he thought he stood up too quickly. It's run rampant in the NFL where tackles are starting early and it's not called. And I think that's what happened. Or I think Bailey's just frustrated that it happened or was accusing him of it. So he kind of I think he was chirping and Godicke put his hands on him, just shoved him a little bit. And then Bailey came back with force. And then someone from Tampa came in and decked Bailey. And then we go crazy. Later on in one of the scrums, it was the best. It was like 70s football or early 90s NFL rocks. Godicke, I think it was Godicke, but someone from Tampa took a Jets helmet, hammer through it 30 feet in the air, and you just saw it spinning, just an old school tactic. So that was pretty good. But I think it was about Bailey being frustrated that he thought he stood up too quickly before the drill started.
The Jake Asman Show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Check out PrizePicks right now. If you're a sports fan, they have something for everyone, especially if you're one of my listeners and you're gearing up for the upcoming Jets season. For player picks on PrizePicks, you just pick a player you like and you go more or less on a few of their stats. Check out some of the numbers they have for some of your favorite Jet players. Geno Smith, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Omar Cooper Jr., Kenyon Sadiq, and many more. PrizePicks should be your go-to, and check out their new offer right now. Play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you need to do is sign up and use that code HMA. That's PrizePicks code HMA. Download the app now or click the link in the description to download the PrizePicks app today. Let's get to the Geno interceptions. What did you notice on the plays? Why did the Jets offense struggle against the Tampa Bay defense?
I missed the first, I forget which one I missed with Geno, but it was a rhythm thing for that first team offense. Even Klubnik had a hard go of it. I saw a crosser with Klubnik. He had no business throwing it. Single high, middle closed. Yeah, the crosser was open, but you saw the safety drive down at the perfect vantage point. The safety was driving down, had to jump on it. Had he thrown it on target, it could have been picked. That's how bad it was, but he threw it behind him. So from Geno to Klubnik, just the timing and rhythm wasn't there. Whereas on the other side, and I tweeted this out, they were getting gashed in the run game. 5, 6, 12, 12. Baker hit two in breaks for 15 and then 18 back to back. They were just so much crisper, so much more efficient, and a lot of screens. And what I didn't like, other than the gap integrity and run fits not being there, is just the play recognition didn't seem to be there. Every guy looked to be really consumed with either their job or trying to make a play, as opposed to just breathing and trying to feel the play out. And I noted that the play recognition didn't look to be up to snuff, because on those screens, they caught him in some pressures, but on some of the other quick design ones, they weren't pressures, and yet they still hit him. They still hit him for some yardage. So no, I don't agree. The Jets defense won. They got their asses handed to them, especially early.
So the Jet defense got their asses handed to them early. Talk more about the offense, though, specifically. What was Tampa doing that the Jets just couldn't figure out? Like, what was it? Just the Bulls blitzing? Was the offensive line not good?
It was self-inflicted. No, nothing strategy-wise. It was just self-inflicted in terms of crispness, efficiency. And Fashanu is starting to worry me a little bit. He's just not – I think he's protecting the inside a little bit too much, and he's not getting out. Joe could speak in terms of standing up in the sets much better than I can. Nick Bonito comes to mind last year. Remember the Nick Bonito game where he just ate him up outside? He's starting to worry me a little bit. So the pressure was getting home a bit, but I think it was more self-inflicted. I just think it was efficiency and crispness, and that just wasn't there from the offense early.
Joe, any concerns with Olu Fashanu based on your film study of him in year 2 and now going into year 3 after hearing that from Sabo?
Yeah, and I think the question you asked me before too about like the importance of the scrimmages too. It's like to see different looks, feel different guys. You know, no Diddy, but you know, it's important. Different looks. Apparently, they're struggling with the blitz and stuff, the run game, all that. It's all different, but. Yeah, you know, listen, like, I don't think that's a popular take by me in the offseason in terms of some of the Olu stuff. Like, I think it's pretty chalk to be like, yeah, Olu is great. Membu is great. Membu is great, no doubt. But I've had my concerns with Olu. I think that Olu from year 1 to year 2 regressed. PFF reflected that as well. But doing the film review, I think he struggled more than he did in his rookie season, and his feet are all over the place. He's playing really high. His heels are clicking a lot. He's not balanced, so he can't react like redirective movement and stuff. So Olu is a concern. Like I could tell you, if Olu maintains his level of play after year 1 and 2, he's not like after year 3 we're trying to extend this guy. He's going to be a prove it in year 4 or 5 guy, because right now I think he's average at the very best. And last year, I would say he's below average. He's not a good run blocker, and his pass blocking was all over the place. And Jake, listen, you know, I could just say stuff, that's fine, but we did the film review of both those guys a few weeks ago. Go back, and I literally break down plays where you're watching Olu and Membu side by side, and we're talking about the footwork, the pad level, all that stuff. And Membu is light years ahead of Fashanu in that aspect. So he's young, he has the talent to do it. But I'm concerned as well. I don't. He's not like a foregone conclusion. He's going to be here long term to me.
I still think there's another level to his game. Like he added a lot of weight. He looks great. Like Tampa's a really good defense. I like Olu. I don't know if he's ever going to be like a top 10 left tackle in the league, but I do think he could be an above average left tackle. And those are the guys that you keep for a while because they're so hard to replace. So I'm not overly concerned. I just think, when I watched the Jets last year, like it's very far down on my list where I'd get to Olu Fashanu. Like I think he could still be a very good player.
Can I like adjust, like, just based on what you said? I'm not necessarily concerned about his level of play and being like a traffic cone out there, but I'm concerned in terms of like maybe Jets fans' expectations how good he is, if that makes sense.
It's clear Membu is their best player. Like that's
yeah. So it's not like Olu sucks, we can't get by with him at left tackle. It's more so let's adjust our expectations on him, and he's not playing like some absolute stud right now. He's again near average tackle at this point, so he's a long way to go.
So, Robby, I'm going to put up a tweet from Samini just so you could provide some nuanced context to it. So, Rich tweeted after practice, Gino was sharper towards the end in the red zone.
Yes.
Still not a great practice. Had him at 10 of 16 with 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, couple of sacks. Offense, a little out of sync. Good day, though, for the tight ends, Ruckert and Taylor. Isaiah Williams making his move. Let's focus on the positive first here. The tight ends, we know there's no Sadiq. What did you see from the tight ends for the New York Jets today?
They were solid. They were good. They were security blankets. And it makes sense. Human instincts. You see a different team, more of the unknown. Quarterbacks are going to default to the security blankets. That includes Isaiah Williams, by the way. Getting some shine in terms of first team. So also Chase Curtis. I still think Chase Curtis has the most receptions this summer of any Jets player. It's just the way it's shaken out. Late in practice, Klubnik, red zone had a rough go of it. He bunch formation, should have unloaded it on a secondary over the middle, kind of scampered. I think that stuck in his head because then he threw a low outside flat ball that just was uncatchable, and they could have scored on it. Last play, Chase Curtis, outbreaker, left side of the end zone, kind of good read, right target, but I think he was just a tick early. He was a hair early. He was ready to unload it before he had to. The pressure wasn't there, was in front of Curtis. Excellent diving try. Just couldn't come up with it. The Jets team was about to explode if he caught it. So tight ends, I think tight ends had a pretty good day. Yeah.
Isaiah Williams making his move. I mean, Glenn called him a dude, raved about him the other day. I mean, how big of a role will Isaiah Williams have in this offense?
He's that bubble screen guy. You want to call him a gadget guy, go for it. He's a stalk blocking. He loves it. He gets it done. Joe, who do you think the best blocking receiver is on the team? It's tough, right?
Yeah, I would say it's probably Tim Patrick. Obviously, people don't want to hear that necessarily, but Garrett's not like the biggest blocker in the world. Omar Cooper, when he does it, it's good. He's just sometimes he's inconsistent with like the want to of it. AD is kind of slender. Arian Smith wants to slender again. So yeah. I'll be honest. Week 15 was I watching Isaiah Williams blocking at receiver. It's hard to watch the film in general, so I can't speak to the end of last year when Isaiah Williams was playing much, but. Gun in my head right now, I'd probably say Tim Patrick with Isaiah Williams maybe being the two.
Yeah, and Williams is as willing a blocker in terms of bubbles as it gets, and Glenn loves that. Reich loves that. Coaches love that, and for obvious reasons. So, I think offensive, I'm not as worried with the offense as I am the defense. The offense, Gino, Reich, Garrett, they'll be fine. Garrett had usually when he dances and his mind goes quicker than his body, and we've all seen it. He's tried to make moves and his mind is going quicker, and then he falls down because his legs can't keep up with his mind. I get so angry at this dude. Like, just be decisive, make a play, and go. And today he danced on a 3-yard completion, ran about 35 yards. Barry Sanders did. It was beautiful. I think the Jets tweeted it out. It was an unbelievable play. Unbelievable rack touchdown. So kudos to him on that. That's highlight of the summer for sure.
Garrett Wilson being good. What a takeaway. And I got a tweet here from you, for you to react to, Sabo. Zach Rosenblatt covers the team for The Athletic, says David Bailey is getting by Luke Godecki pretty much every play. Let's talk Bailey. Did he have as good of a practice as many on the Jets beat are saying he did?
You're a radio professional setting me up for that. You know that? You are damn good. No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No. He did. See, here's the thing. First of all, kudos to Aaron Glenn. Had the best head coach moment of his Jets career today, answering the Bailey question, which we know his raw athleticism, his quickness, alien, elite, special. And this is the point. You can't not see it. It flashes. It's impossible to miss. It's what attracts eyes. But I think he's a wide player. He uses a very, very wide radius in terms of his pass rush plan, so to speak. Anytime he gets outside a tackle, and this includes Olu, in previous practices, and Membu. By the way, it's been very different with Membu and Fashan and with Bailey, but that's a different story. Anytime he gets by and the tackle is kind of riding him down the arc, I see people reporting it as a sack and a win, and it's not. It's further downhill. It's further outside the arc. It's not. In a lot of instances, if you have pass rush contained, it's a terrible play. Now, I have no worries about Bailey in terms of rushing the passer, collecting sacks, collecting pressures. He's that freaky. It's bonito. And that's another thing I'm thinking about. I felt like Glenn was really trying to copy Detroit last year. Feels like they're kind of copying Denver a lot more this year. 3-4, Bonito, Bailey, what have you. Maybe Muji's influence. That's a different story. So did he dominate? No. Did he
have a good practice today?
Good practice?
Yeah, did he have a good practice? Everyone on the Jets beat is saying David Bailey dominated today. Will Parkinson said
he didn't dominate. No, I don't agree.
The best player on the field today. What you're saying is that is not true.
Do not agree. Best player on the field? Do not agree. No. There were a lot of plays. Jet motion, jet sweep right at him. He gets pushed out towards the sideline, gets knocked back. Great guy in the second level makes a great play. The best play was the inside move that the Jets put up, where it forced Baker to flush out. Incompletion. DeMario tipped it. That was far and away the best play. But in terms of pass rush wins 1v1, someone's going to have to point it out to me or show me the replay, because it's just not, I think it's over exaggerated. And I think kudos to Glenn for doing the right thing in that interview, kind of saying, look, we expect the pass rush stuff. I'm interested to see the film, to see the stuff that he's not doing well, to coach him up. And I think it was
do it against you guys and flash consistently in the backfield. Yeah. It seemed, you were over there on the D. It seemed like he was doing it again. So what does it mean when you see it now against people not?
Well, we all know that he's a good player. We all know that he's a damn good pass rusher.
Yes.
So there's times where you expect that. Does that make sense? You expect him to win a number of his battles when it comes to that. And then you also expect things to happen to where you have to coach him. He's going to learn some things too, so it really goes both ways when you look at that. But I'm anxious to really watch the tape. And I'm anxious to the plays that he didn't do well, to see exactly why and how he's going to learn from that. So I'm more excited to watch that, to be able to coach him and be able to say, okay, this is what we got to do in these situations. These situations, I expect you to do that. When these situations, when you don't win, I want to coach you how to make sure you operate in that situation.
So that to you was the best answer Aaron Glenn's ever given as the Jet.
And the follow-up from you was something about, do you expect it right away, day one? Glenn, short to the point, we'll see.
The deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.